So now we want to figure out, okay, of that pie slice that includes all of his calories, how many of his calories are going to come from protein, carbs, and fat. Now to do this, we have to do a little bit of math, and we have to know that protein and carbohydrates have 4 calories per gram. A calorie, by the way, is just a measurement of energy. And then fat has 9 calories per gram, so a little more dense. But we're going to use those numbers to figure out how big of a slice each of those macronutrients should get from the pie. Also, just kind of a side note, technically alcohol and ketone bodies have calories as well, 7 and 4 respectively. So now we're going to move on to his protein needs. Based on my experience strength training clients, and learning about strength training and muscle and performance, I found that multiplying your body weight by, on the lower end, 0.7, and then on the higher end, 1.2. Anywhere in that range is going to be healthy for most people. Now a note here, if you're in a very large calorie deficit, you'll probably want to lean towards the higher end of this. Also, if building muscle is your top priority and you're training extremely hard, you're doing a lot of strength training, resistance training, very heavy loads, you'll also probably want to be on the higher end of this. Protein has 4 calories per gram. So he knows that his 160 grams of protein that he's going to get is going to equate to 640 calories. So if we divide that by his total calorie count, which is 2,000 again, we'll get 32. So now we know what size the protein slice of the pie is going to be. It's going to be 32, just about a third of that slice. So now we know that we have a certain number of remaining calories, which we calculated to be 1,360. Took our initial 2,000, subtracted our protein calories. So that's what we've got to work with, and that's going to be distributed between carbs and fat. So you see at this point, I've got a graph of carbs and fats, and we're covering performance needs and energy ratios. That's because these two are pretty interlinked, and the performance need is going to educate the energy ratio. So generally speaking, not for everybody, but as performance requirements go up, the preference for your body to use carbs for energy is also going to go up. I broke down these percentages so you can have a little bit of an idea visually of how many of his calories would be coming from carbs and fat. And if you kind of visually look at these, it makes sense that most of your calorie energy would come from carbs if you have a higher performance requirement. But essentially how we figured these out is we took the remaining calories, so 1360, multiplied that by the ratio, so 30% or 0.3 in this case, and that gives you the calories that are going to come from that. Again, the blue are all carbs here. So he's going to get 480 calories from carbs. Now again, remember carbs have 4 calories per gram, so we divide that 480 by 4 to get to the number of grams of carbs. Same thing for fat, except fat's 9 calories per gram, so we're using that 9 there, and he would have 106 grams of fat here.